Hello everyone, Justin with Lucky8 Off-Road, and today I'm going to show you how to install a set of wheel spacers on your Land Rover. For this video, I'm using Terra Firma wheel spacers. They are designed for pretty much all the newer generation vehicles, and they're done in black. And obviously right here, we've got a beautiful Defender 90. Cue the intro, I'll pull the tire, and we'll be back. Okay, with the wheel off, there's a couple of things you want to take a look at before you put the spacer on. First, this little hub area is prone to getting rust and corrosion. If it has a lip of garbage on it, it's going to make the spacer not want to sit flush. So we want to sometimes take a wire brush to it like so. Obviously this car is brand new, we don't have that. And the same thing with the face on the rotor. You can sometimes get garbage in there. So the wire brush is your friend. Clean it up. Next, and most importantly, is some red Loctite. You do not want these wheel spacers coming loose. You won't even notice it until it's too late. So what we like to do is get red Loctite and just put a little bit of a dab here. Come on, red Loctite, play with me. Does not want to. Take your time, red Loctite, nobody's watching. All right, little dab like so. That way, when you put the lug on, it's going to get caught up with some red Loctite and hold it in place. If you need to take the spacers off when you do your rotors, you warm up, you heat up the area, and the Loctite will loosen, allowing you to get the nut off. Next up, spacer. We'll put them on. Get them to sit flush like so. And then, I should run all these, the little acorn nuts. We're gonna put them on and tighten them down in a star pattern. Okay, with all of them in place in a star pattern, so to make sure that the spacer sits tight, we move to the next step. And you're saying to yourself, why did I use this little ratchet instead of the big monster ugga-dugga here? That's because we want to torque them properly. And again, star pattern. This Defender torque spec is 103. So I'm going to go through and torque everything down. Also, a little trick. Let me show you, if you're doing this by yourself, you're going to need to put a breaker bar in here. If you've got a friend, they can just put their foot on the brakes, but I'll show you the breaker bar trick. Right, so when you go to tighten it, just going to spin. We're going to use breaker bar. We're going to catch it like so, right here. So to grab one stud and the other, and it'll allow me to tighten everything down. Getting a little interference from the mud flap. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, I won't bore you with the torque specs. 103. Okay, with everything torqued, the next thing to do is just put the wheel back on. Again, the star pattern as you tighten it down, and 103 is how we're going to torque those two. I'll get all the wheels back on and we'll take a look at it once it's done. All right, there you have it. I hope this was helpful to you. Don't forget the Loctite, don't forget the torque. All right, I'll be quiet now. Let's admire this 90. I love the way the spacers bring the wheels out, gives it that flush appearance when you're looking at it, a more aggressive stance. Another thing spacers are excellent for is if you're running a wider tire. Sorry everybody, Justin from the future here. The video got corrupt and I don't have a good ending, but as luck would have it, we got Project 110 on the lift and some high quality wheels that we've got laying out in the mud pit. So I'm gonna show you an up-close look at how effective the spacers are if you have a wider tire or you're running a wheel with a different offset. In this case, I think they're 20-inch off the original Sports. But I'm going to bring the camera in on the other side and show you what it looks like with the stock wheel, which is going to mimic an oversized tire, And then we're going to go look at this side that has the wheel spacer on, and then that way you can kind of vision what's going on a little bit easier. This is what I'm talking about, this control arm. If you've got a wider tire, it's gonna rub against it. Hey, the rim's actually touching this one. So by putting a wheel spacer, you're able to push the tire or the wheel away from this control arm. That's why everybody says you got to run a thin tire on stock wheels. So you can see it's rubbing, no good. And now this side with the wheel spacer, you see how much extra room we have. All right, I hope that helps explain the advantage of the wheel spacers by pushing it away from the control arms. I was probably going to say something stupid like, I'll see you on the next one. So I'll see you guys on the next one.